Welcome to Lesson 2, Creating Content Part 1. Now, a big component of this mini course is focused on creating content. In fact, there's 2 lessons on it. That's why this is just Part 1. And creating content is really important. Obviously, there's lots of things you can do with Facebook marketing that doesn't center around content creation, whether it's paid ads, whether it's using different techniques to reach people organically, using groups, using different kinds of cross-posting strategies with local influencers in your target market. And those are all things that I go over in my full course, but the foundation always comes back to content. If you're not creating content that's ideal for your target market, then you're not going to attract your target market. It's just like when you go to a business networking meeting. And, in networking circles, they really train you to be specific in who you're looking for, and that leads to the best referrals. Well, social media is the same way. For example, if you're a wedding photographer and you're posting a bunch of stuff on your Facebook page about newborn photography, or you're posting all these photos of babies and dogs cuddling, that's cool. People love babies, they love dogs. But if you're looking to work with people who want wedding photography, then you're not necessarily attracting your ideal market, right? So you do want to be a little bit strategic in what you're posting. For this section, you will need a free Canva account, brand-related stock photos, and your hex code colors. So I'm going to show you, you should by now have a Canva account already set up because the homework from lesson 1 did require a Canva account. But if for some reason you haven't set that up yet, make sure you go set that up because you will need it for all of the course content going forward. Brand-related stock photos. I'm going to show you guys how to get those, and I'm going to show you how to get your hex codes too. So let's take a look at where to get quality photos because you're not always going to have original photos to use. Now, oftentimes you will. Like if you're a photographer, obviously use all of your own photos because you're going to have great, unique content all the time coming in. But if you work in another industry, like for example, my industry, digital marketing, I'm not constantly taking photos of what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis. So I rely a little bit more on stock photography. Having said that, we don't want to use photos that look really boring, basically, for lack of a better word. So I want to show you a couple sites where I find photos that look cool and polished and don't look so corny. So Unsplash, you guys already know I'm a huge, huge fan. If you follow my Facebook page, I talk about it all the time. It is by far my favorite stock photo site. There's a couple reasons for that. One, the photos are beautiful. They're very professional. Their database is huge. Look, there's 6,903 free digital marketing pictures alone. They have so many different niches and industries. And then finally, and importantly, it's also free. So there's lots of stock photography sites, but this is the one I found that is the most fun and pretty. So now when I say find some branded photos, what I'm talking about is branded photos that you can use in Facebook posts. So like here's an example of the thumbnail for my mini course. This is like a post I did on Facebook. And that's a photo I found that has my brand colors. I liked it because it had a backpack and it was for the mini course. So it really fits my brand. But what I mean when you're looking for brand photos is photos that you can use on posts like this. This one for my Facebook Live, this is one of my favorite photos. I think it's so hip and fun. And it's relevant, but without being obvious, right? People like things to be a little nuanced. That's what's going to set your brand apart. You know, sure, if you're a real estate agent, you could just put up a picture of a for sale sign. Or if you're a landscaper, you could just put up a picture of some guy mowing a lawn. But that's what your competition is doing too. So that's not really going to set you apart, right? You need something that's going to pull people in. You need photos that people haven't seen before. Really. Like this photo, I've never once seen it before on the internet. So when it pops up in people's feed, they're kind of like, oh, What is that? It's eye-catching. In digital marketing, we call it pattern disrupt. So, okay, so easy said, but how do we do that? So here's what I want to recommend to you. Type in your field or your industry, but be really open-minded when you're choosing your photos. And I want to give you an example. So I'm a digital marketer, right? So I typed in digital marketing, and a couple things to note. When I type in digital marketing, they will immediately suggest other keywords that you can look at to get ideas. So definitely take advantage of that. If you're not seeing photos in here that were what you wanted, click on these other tiles because they're going to give you a completely different set of photos when you click on those. So what pops up immediately? A very obvious, like, here's a computer with a digital marketing report on it, right? Yes, that represents my industry. It's technically what I want to do, but it's boring as hell. Like, that's not my brand. My brand is a little funky and kind of dorky and a little anxious and very sarcastic. And those are qualities that, for better or for worse, attract or repel people from me. But what they do is they set me apart from my competition. If you're a real estate agent and you're just using brand photos that are for sale signs or open house signs, that's fine and it's very professional, but everyone else in your industry on Facebook in your local area is doing that too. It doesn't set you apart. If you're a landscape artist and you're throwing up photos on your Facebook page that are someone mowing a lawn or trimming a tree, again, that's fine and it's industry related, but everyone else is doing that. It's not gonna capture someone's attention. So keeping that in mind, let's keep scrolling and see if we can find something that's more unique, essentially. And I want to show you guys this photo immediately struck a chord with me when I looked at digital marketing. And I want to tell you why. It's a little bit kind of hipster. It's not as obvious as these other desk photos. It's interesting. It immediately caught my attention as I was scrolling down. I liked it a lot because it has the brick in the back, which, if you remember, is a big component. Where's my brand board? Right there. I had stuck brick literally on my brand board. I really like that it had the soft gold lighting. Gold is another one of my brand colors. And more importantly, I don't think they are, but to me, these looked like Yellow Pages. And Yellow Pages is kind of an old school marketing technique, right? So I liked to me, it was kind of a throwback homage to old school marketing. It had kind of the light bulb. It just had a really good look and feel, and I know that it's going to catch people's eye. So this is what I mean when I say look for brand photos, look for photos in your industry, but get photos that represent who you are. Get photos that represent your brand. And this can be tricky. You'll get better at it as you go. And just keep scrolling. You will know when you hit something. Look at all these. They're all the same. And then you immediately hit that one and it stops you in your tracks because it's different. If that does that for you, then it's going to do it for your audience too. I will make a note here, however. Keep your target audience in mind when you're selecting these photos. You want something that's unique and you want something that's going to stand out, but you want it to stand out to the right people. So for example, if you're a wedding photographer and you only want to shoot weddings, don't go and pick a bunch of photos from your portfolio that are newborns and puppies napping together. Those are cute and awesome and everybody wants to see them, but you're not really reaching out to your ideal client, right? Which is weddings, people about to get married. So keep that in mind. If you're selling houses and you're wanting to work with first-time home buyers or young families, then you probably want to think about that as you pick images. So pick images that speak to you and fit your brand, but keep in mind who your target audience is and make sure that thematically those images are relevant.